Hey, you guys. So, I hope you all had a great weekend and I hope everyone is doing okay from the hurricane. I know that there were some strong storms this last week and some severe weather, so I hope everyone's doing okay. This is Thoughts with Queen T, and my thought or topic for today is on people pleasing. And essentially, with people pleasing, I'm going to define it, give some examples, why I think that's changing a little bit, and why that's going into what some people are calling a villain era. So, people pleasing, I think for some, there's been, I don't want to say a misconception, but there can definitely be some negative side effects to people pleasers and then those who they are people pleasing, where we see with kind of this villain era, which I will get into a little bit later and kind of discuss as we get into that. But when it comes to people pleasing, it is defined as, a people pleaser is a person who consistently strives to please others, often sacrificing their own wants or needs in the process. So, for most people, they want to feel loved or valued in these close relationships that they have. So, they will try to avoid any conflict by saying yes to however many different sorts of things, have a hard time saying no. In some cases, if it is this situation of, hey, I don't want to look at my own wants and needs in this case. I want to make sure like other people are taken care of. That can, I think, also have a close relationship with like low self-esteem and maybe low self-confidence. So in some of these situations where maybe your self-esteem or your low self-confidence could maybe be valued at maybe like a 4 or 5, and people will maybe treat you as such. As you start maybe rising your self-esteem or rising your confidence, you'll see that that 5 or that 4 that they were giving, that value that you were receiving, is not satisfactory. Like you are kind of giving more. You're kind of maybe giving them an 8 or a 9, when in actuality you should probably be giving them what they're giving you. But you're kind of giving what you think they should receive based on different things that you are experiencing and how you are feeling in that moment, based on, I think, for a lot of people pleasers, people who are people pleasers, what we've experienced and what we've been told. And so in these situations, what I've noticed, especially this last year, 2023, I'll say, and then you can even say in 2022, a lot of individuals are like, yeah, I'm kind of just done. Like, I it's been coined as the phrase of going into my villain era, where people who were people pleasers are not. They're setting boundaries. They're very self-aware as to, yeah, I see these situations that are happening and I'm going to change the narrative now. Like, I'm going to do what I want to do, kind of put myself first because, no one else is really going to. So, in the eyes of someone who has been, let's say, people pleased, the person who's been receiving the yeses and like all the attention and everything from the people pleasers, they're seeing it as, oh, now I'm getting no's and there's these boundaries being set up. Why, like this person's being very selfish. No, like there has to be a reason for it. And in some of these cases, like that can definitely be communicated, that can be talked about. But that's where it's been coined, being a villain. Because in those situations, people will kind of view it as, you're being, selfish, or being you're only thinking of yourself, you're being a villain, you're not thinking of others like you used to, the hero, if you will. But if you look at, I think, a lot of stories, mind you, not all stories, because in some you clearly do have the, hero and the villain, but as you keep reading like a saga or a different series, you will see that maybe a villain that you had isn't really a villain. Like, some of these situations are not so black and white. It's very much a gray area. And so, let's kind of paint a picture as to, or an example of a people pleaser. You have somebody where, let's say person A is always there for everybody. Like, I say yes, 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 yes to everybody, everything, want to make sure that they're taken care of. They, kind of have the support that they need. But person B, maybe person A asks for something, and person B is like, they don't have a hard time saying no, don't really, see the struggle and being like, oh, can't really make it. And person A is just like, oh, that's fine, that's okay, like, I get it, you've got other things to do, like, I understand. Like, if you want a real person example, the best one I can always give is, in college, I would have concerts. And so I would say to my friends, hey, if you want to come, you can come. You don't have to. I get it if you've got other things going on, but, want to invite you just in case. I would have like one person show up, and that would be my sister, my metaphorical sister, who was my best friend in the world, and she would show up to every single concert. My other friends wouldn't. But if, they had an event or they had something going on, I would make sure, like, if I could make it, I would be there. If I don't have anything else going on, if I can support you in any way, shape, or form, I'll be there. Like, but my other friends, like, some of them would be like, yeah, I just really don't want to go. Like, but I'd be like, well, it'd be nice. Like, shouldn't we go? I would still go, but I think, kind of looking back, did you really want to go? It's those sort of situations. And so you constantly say yes to events, and you constantly say yes to things to make sure that, your wants and needs, is that really what you wanted to do? Is it something that you felt like you had to do, to, I wouldn't say to make yourself feel good, but I know for myself, if I felt like I didn't support people in the right way, I'd feel bad. I'd be like, I wasn't there to, be there for them or support them in the right way. I'd feel bad about it. But it would never be, reciprocated back. And so I think as time kind of goes on, we, people pleasers, people can kind of see, yeah, I can spend my time doing other things that I want to do. Like, if I can see my time's just going to be wasted and that's not something I really want to do, I don't want to do it. And so that's where the negative impact really is for people who are people pleasers. It's, you're doing things that really you don't want to do, but you've been maybe conditioned when you were younger, like, oh, it's things you have to do to be nice. This is seen as you being a good person. You being a good person is defined by so many different things. The golden rule, how you treat people, not because you say yes to things or whatever. It's okay to say no. And I think for some people, we have not been told that. We've been told you have to say yes to everything. If you don't have something going on, you have to say yes. You know, like, if you don't have something booked on the calendar, you have to go. You don't have to go. It's okay to relax. It's okay to not have something going on. It's okay. And even if it's a situation of, you know, someone kind of pesters you and wants why, you don't need to give them why. No is a statement. No is a sentence. You don't have to give them why, unless you want to. Unless it feels like justified and you really feel like, yeah, I'll give you an explanation as to why, but you really don't have to. I think for some individuals, it has taken this time to understand. I think because of however many events, like the past few years, like, yeah, some of us have kind of had enough. And that's where we're like, yeah, you know, we want more for ourselves. You know, we deserve this. We deserve to kind of put ourselves first. We deserve this kind of self-care because no one else is really going to do it. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. Let me know in the comments down below, or if you have any additional thoughts on what you think. And it's okay. It's okay to say no if you want to do it. If you don't, it's okay. It's all a part, I think, of the process. And I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.